Listen, Donald Trump and the people surrounding him are a threat to our national security. Full stop, end of story. And that was only reaffirmed today after we learned that sensitive communications between top Trump campaign officials have been hacked by malicious actors. Time and time again, we've seen that people working with Trump are so incompetent that our country's best interests come last. They focus on Trump. They focus on how can they screw over immigrants, and that leads to stuff like this happening. Exclusive. The Trump campaign is still being hacked. Email communications from individuals associated with the Trump campaign have been hacked by malign actors within the last 10 days. It was recent, and this has been confirmed by multiple outlets. We have about 44 days to go until the election and no time to waste. Make sure you leave a like, make sure you comment a blue heart, and subscribe. We have a lot of stories to break down, and the broad theme today is that Donald Trump and the people around him are a threat to our national security and a threat to our country. Now, I was going to cite Trump stealing classified documents and playing cat and mouse with the FBI, but that's too obvious. I was going to cite January 6th, but that's also too obvious. But this story perfectly links with this story today because it reads, suspected Iranian hackers breached Roger Stone's personal email as a part of an effort to target Trump's campaign, sources say. And this perfectly lays the groundwork because it illustrates the sheer incompetency of the people working around Donald Trump. The FBI and other investigators probing the hack and leak of Trump campaign documents confirmed that Republican operative Roger Stone was the one who was responsible for the hack. The hackers used access to Stone's email to try to break into the account of a senior Trump campaign official, and the hacking incident, which occurred in June, set off a scramble in the Trump campaign, the FBI, and Microsoft. And the reason that Roger Stone was tricked is because he put all of his personal information into a fake phishing email. So we have people who are working at the highest level in American politics, unfortunately. Roger Stone should not be working at the highest level in American politics, but he's working on the Trump campaign. He gets a fake email and he puts in his personal information without thinking twice, and it causes sensitive information to be leaked. Time and time again, we see that the Trump campaign is incompetent. The people around him can't even keep him in control, and that is leading to him losing votes. We're going to break down this thread about the hacked documents, but for a quick palate cleanser, look at the momentum shift in Wisconsin. These voters were on the fence, and now they are warming up to VP Harris. It's beautiful to see.
Your opinion of Kamala Harris changed?
Mine has changed favorably because I was very negative about it. I just think she was like a nobody, didn't even know who she was. And she's done a reasonably good job of marketing.
I'm surprised at how strong she is. I honestly kind of didn't know she was there for a few years because I didn't feel like she did a whole lot. I'd much rather have her than to be frightened of having Trump in the office for another 4 years.
I like her positive attitude that we're going to go forward. We're not going to go backwards.
I definitely have come to the conclusion that she's capable. I mean, and she's proved that in the debate, and she's proved that since then.
Beautiful to see people warming up to VP Harris. She's always been great and charismatic, but the more she's been campaigning on the trail, the more visible she's been. People are now beginning to realize, wow, she is way better than Donald Trump. And I know this talking point is a little bit cliche and overused, but I do think her and Tim Walz should be doing more interviews with non-traditional media outlets. And I don't just say that because I'm a non-traditional media outlet, but I think Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are very uniquely charismatic and relatable and likable, and I'm sure you guys agree. So it would be nice to see them do sit-down interviews that are equivalent to Trump doing a sit-down with Theo Vaughn. Now, Theo Vaughn taps into that bro market perfectly, so it was actually a decently clever move for Trump to try to reach out to that market. It's not going to win him the election, but Tim Walz going on some of these podcasts wearing a camo hat and saying, hey, us Democrats, we own guns, and Kamala Harris going out there and showing people that Democrats are normal human beings, I think that would be very effective, and I think this clip proves that. But stick around because this part is important and hilarious. So the Trump campaign is sort of getting hit on all sides right now. They got blindsided by multiple things today. Number one, this hack, but also Laura Loomer has been going scorched earth on social media. Laura Loomer unleashes anti-GOP tirade after reportedly getting booted from Trump's entourage. Now, to lay the groundwork, you guys have seen the photos of Trump wrapping his arm around Laura Loomer Loomer, but from the Washington Post, we got this report recently. Laura Loomer, too, has been a source of much frustration within Trump's campaign. She accompanied him to the presidential debate in Philadelphia right before he spread conspiracy theories about Haitians eating cats. She accompanied him to the presidential debate in Philadelphia only hours before he spread conspiracy theories about migrants eating cats. I'm sure that she had his ear with that. She also joined him the following day at events commemorating the September 11, 2001 attacks, despite previously pushing the false conspiracy theory that the attacks were an inside job. Here's the interesting part. Some outside advisors and donors called Trump to express their concern that her unofficial role is detrimental to the campaign. Trump finally distanced himself from her milquetoast public remarks, describing her as a, quote, supporter and a free spirit. He has also promised advisors he would not regularly invite her to travel with him on his plane, and last weekend he privately referred to her as crazy. So Trump is now referring to Laura Loomer as crazy, and there are reports that Laura Loomer has been straight up banned, blacklisted from Trump's plane. Now those haven't been confirmed, but the Washington Post kind of soft confirmed them here by saying he promised advisors he would not regularly invite her to travel. That aligns with a lot of the rumors we've heard. So Laura Loomer is now being kicked out of the Trump campaign, and he gets blindsided by this absolute meltdown. Scorched earth. Laura Loomer unleashes anti-GOP tirade after reportedly getting booted from Trump's entourage. The far-right provocateur is big mad as her and Trump are grasping on to their last attempt at relevancy in the political sphere. Far-right commentator Laura Loomer is going on an anti-Republican tirade after reportedly being banned from traveling with former President Trump. And we now have many examples of Laura Loomer going scorched earth on the Republican Party. We know that her and Marjorie Taylor Greene got in a spat the other day after Marjorie Taylor Greene was actually sort of defending Kamala Harris because Laura Loomer said that Kamala is going to make the White House smell like curry, other deranged racist stuff, and Marjorie Taylor Greene actually came out and said, yo, that is racist. Why are you saying stuff like this? Laura Loomer said, what does the Republican Party do for me? They have never done anything for me. I do everything for myself. Someone said, I can't name a single accomplishment the Republican Party has had in the last 4 years. Laura Loomer said, same here. She then said, if the Republicans keep the House and take back the Senate, it won't be because they deserve it. It will only be because they rode the coattails of Donald Trump. Not a single Republican is happy with the GOP. They've done nothing over the last 4 years, if we are being honest. Now, I'm going to be 100% honest. This is sort of giving ex-girlfriend energy right after you kick her out of your house and she goes crazy and starts airing all of your stuff in the public. It feels like she's sort of mad at Donald Trump and is now lunging at every single Republican in sight, including Mike Johnson. This next one reads, Republicans love losing for the sake of pretending they like each other. She then said, who cares? We won't even have a country thanks to Republicans not passing the SAVE Act. And this is in response to someone saying, geez, take a break. It's Sunday. There's football on right now. I mean, Laura Loomer is a crazy person who is constantly ranting and raving. She's so desperate for one final taste of that Trump clout, one final taste of Trump's affection that she had for months. And that's probably why Marjorie Taylor Greene was so bitter. She's not actually defending Kamala out of the goodness of her heart. She's doing it because she's jealous that Laura Loomer is in Donald Trump's ear. There is one final story I want to break down that really illustrates how terrible of a week Donald Trump had, and that is because MAGA Speaker of the House Mike Johnson flipped on him. Trump must be fuming about Mike Johnson's spending, as a deal is a blow to MAGA, this article reads. The House Speaker has announced a deal to keep the government funded, and it's missing Trump's big request. So just broadly speaking, Trump time and time again has tried to undermine the interests of the United States to further his agenda, whether it's him terminating the Constitution, subverting the will of the American people, nuking the border bill, and in this case, he wants the government to shut down. He very intentionally was trying to get Speaker of the House Mike Johnson to make the government shut down so it would look good on him heading into the election, because most Americans don't understand the underlying civics behind the shutdown and they'd blame it on Biden. Most people would blame it on Biden, unfortunately. Speaker Mike Johnson has gone against Donald Trump and MAGA by dropping the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act from his proposal to fund the government. On Sunday, Johnson announced that the short-term spending bill to keep the government funded until December 20th will not include the SAVE Act, that's what Laura Loomer is referring to, which would require proof of citizenship when people register register to vote. And let me just highlight, you already need to be a citizen to vote. You can't vote if you're not a citizen. Most states require voter ID, and if they don't require voter ID, they'll ask you for your address, some sort of information that confirms you are a citizen. In a letter to his House colleagues, Johnson said the bill would be a, quote, very narrow, bare bones resolution, including only the extensions that are absolutely necessary, and this goes directly against Trump's plan. A previous government funding bill with the SAVE Act was voted down by House Democrats along with 14 Republicans. Mitch McConnell has said that a government shutdown before November's election would be politically beyond stupid. The House plans to vote on Johnson's new proposal this week, which is the result of the deal the Speaker made with President Biden and top Democrats. Let's go. I despise Speaker of the House Mike Johnson for a lot of reasons, mainly January 6th and Ukraine and abortion reasons, a lot more reasons, but I do appreciate bipartisanship. I do appreciate President Biden being able to reach out and shake hands with Mike Johnson, and Mike Johnson saying, you know, let's go behind Donald Trump's back and let's do this deal. Not that Donald Trump should have any say, but the fact that he wanted to nuke this bill and that Majority Leader Mitch McConnell even said that it was politically beyond stupid shows that Trump doesn't care about even political gain. He only cares about destroying everything around him. He wanted to shut the government down because it's funny to him. He thinks it would help him, even if it's politically stupid. Trump has yet to weigh in on Johnson's new bill, but MAGA personalities have already started attacking the speaker. On Sunday, Trump gadfly Laura Loomer said it's so pathetic how inept these people are because they want to keep the government funded. I'm sorry. Johnson also faces opposition from some far-right members of the House Republican caucus. Representative Warren Davidson called the resolution, quote, disappointing, adding that, unfortunately, the Surrender Caucus came together to make sure we keep the status quo plays going. We are at the point where Marjorie Taylor Greene and Speaker of the House Mike Johnson are now being outflanked on the right by people like Laura Loomer and people like this dude, what was his name? Warren Davidson, who says that Mike Johnson and Marjorie Taylor Greene now represent the status quo. It is absolutely absurd, and the broader piece here is that Trump and the people around him, again, are so incompetent that they are a threat to our national security. They are a threat to the progress that this country can make, and that is the ultimate argument for why VP Harris should win in November. To go on to this thread, the Trump campaign cannot stop messing up, and like those people said, they're scared of what Trump is going to do if he gets back into office, and this is part of it, the sheer incompetency of the people around him. So Judd said, on September 18th, I was sent a message from Robert, which contained the cover page of a dossier on J.D. Vance. Robert refused to identify himself except to suggest that he was the same person who sent stolen Trump documents to other outlets. Robert eventually sent Judd the full 271-page dossier on Vance, a 382-page dossier on Doug Burgum, and a 550-page one on Marco Rubio. Now, the funny part here is that J.D. Vance's was by far the shortest vetting dossier, and he had the most skeletons in his closet at the end of the day. All of these clips of him talking about childless cat ladies, him being demeaning towards women, him talking trash about Donald Trump. It is so ironic that they vetted Marco Rubio twice as much as they vetted J.D. Vance when Vance was the one who was toxic. Now, Robert then boasted that he had a lot of other Trump campaign materials. Robert then sent a dozen purported emails to and from Trump campaign staff, including senior advisor Susie Wiles, senior advisor Dan Scavino, and pollster John McLaughlin. The emails covered an 11-month period from October 2023 to August 2024. Robert also sent a 4-page letter dated September 15th, 2024 from an attorney representing Trump to 3 individuals at the New York Times, and this letter has not been made public, but it essentially confirmed that all of these communications are from the Trump campaign. These are all authentic. The legitimacy of the letter proves the person or people representing themselves as Robert has stolen these documents from people within the Trump campaign. So this is important. Who or what is Robert? According to U.S. intelligence agencies, Robert is an Iranian malicious cyber actor who has obtained stolen non-public material from former President Donald Trump's campaign. And the reason why the New York Times, the Washington Post, and a lot of the Democrats who received this material didn't go public with it is because it would be playing perfectly into Iran's hand. Iran gave them some documents, and they wanted either Democrats or the New York Times to post these documents, and then boom, it would immediately backfire because the Trump campaign could say, look at the Democrats colluding with Iran, look at the Democrats digging up dirt with Iran, look at the mainstream media colluding with Iran. Of course we know that that wouldn't be the intention, But the flip would be very easy to make, and that is Iran's goal right there. Popular Information will not publish or excerpt the Trump campaign materials provided by Robert. The materials are stolen, so nobody will post them, and I think that is justified. People are angry that the documents aren't being posted en masse, but I do understand the rationale behind not letting foreign actors interfere with our elections. The internal Trump campaign documents obtained by Popular Information may be embarrassing or problematic to members of the Trump campaign, and some of the documents have news value, but the stolen materials do not provide the public with any fundamental new insight, such as the Pentagon Papers, or such as when Snowden blew the whistle a decade ago. So this is a different scenario, and this dude is saying that he will not release these documents, and this comes at a time when the Trump campaign is absolutely melting down. So today he's been blindsided by multiple things. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, comment a blue heart, hit that subscribe button, have a great rest of your day, and peace out.